Welcome back to another episode of The Takeoff. I've got a very, very, very special guest. I'm a big fan of hers, Shola, the Amazon guru. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So tell people what Shola is about. You call yourself Mrs. Amazon on your Insta.
I had to change it because I tried to sign up to the influencer program and Amazon was like, I've not given you authorization to use that in the name. So I was like, okay, I'm back to Shola Emily then.
Wow. Amazon's like that.
They are like that. So they was like, we're not paying you until you remove any type of association with us. Like we're trademarks. You can't use our name. So I'm back to Shola Emily. A little bit of a breakdown about me. I guess I'm just a 26-year-old who found myself, unfortunately, in the middle of like bad debt, a bad situation, and was like, how the hell am I going to get myself out of this situation? I was generally doing bits of bobs of whatever I could find, like clothing company, then rent to rent, just basically trying to put myself in every pie until I could basically have my breakthrough. Stuck at Amazon, swung it out. I was like, is this how easy it is to make money? I need to be doing this a lot more. So basically put all my energy into Amazon, able to turn over 6 figures in my first year. Don't ask me how.
Wow.
And then since then, the rest is history. I'm just like, okay, let's just keep going. Gets hard sometimes because the more I think it's easier at the beginning because you don't have to scale. But once you have to start scaling, oh my God, it gets a lot more harder. Yeah. Scaling is the hard bit. So that's basically my little story. And now I'm just basically on the road of just continuing to just do better.
Wow. That is such a very, very interesting journey. It's always good to speak to other people about Amazon because it's something I wouldn't say I'm mad interested in, but it's something that I've wanted to do in the past. And seeing your journey and seeing that you have become successful gives people hope that they can also become successful at doing it. So I always ask guests on, the interview or the episode, should I say, or the show, should I say, a random question. What's your worst financial mistake?
That is not even random. Like, you're the worst person to say it to as well because you're like this finance guy, stocks, this, investing, and I've got to come and give you like my worst decision. It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
Let's go with it. I was like 19, 19, I think I was. And I got mentors for like a year. And now I'm older and there's social media. I know like from the beginning this was all just bogus. But I had someone basically come over to me and they were like, okay, I'm going to give you, you're going to give me £4,000, which as I said, like I've never in my life had £4,000 up until this moment. So you're going to invest in stocks, you're going to invest in shares, I'm going to invest the money for you and I'm going to give you back, I think it was something ridiculous, like 70% of my money back on top of what I invested. Now looking at it, if someone's giving you back 70%, that sounds flipping ridiculous. But because I'd met this person in real life, I was like, oh, they wouldn't do that. So I went out, I took out a loan, I gave them the £4,000 and as you can imagine, there was no investment, there was no nothing. I was left with the debt, I was left with paying the loan off and that has to be like my top tier worst experience or worst financial decision. But it motivated me and pushed me to where I am now, so like I have to look at it as a positive, I guess.
Wow. To be fair, I feel like that could happen to anybody, especially with somebody that you trust, because I feel like a lot of people do take advantage, and that was somebody taking advantage of you. So even though it was a mistake, I wouldn't say it's something that's entirely your fault. It's somebody that's supposed to be close to you trying to scam you, which is crazy to me that people try to do that, and it's always the person that you least expect it. Family and friends scam each other sometimes. I mean, I don't scam people. I think that's morally wrong to do that to a friend or family. But, some people haven't got no morals in this life. The thing is, everybody's got a financial mistake. Even me, I've had my financial mistake, which is why I'm so on the other spectrum, because I've been in debt. I've had bad credit. I've done all of those things that I had no financial literacy. So everybody makes those sort of, financial mistakes. And it's really common. Like, as I was saying before, financial literacy, not everybody has it. So sometimes you have to go through the depths, you have to go through the down periods to know like sort of what you're missing. So I'm really interested to understand, how did you get into Amazon? What was it that inspired you to choose Amazon out of everything else that you can do out there? You've got the Shopifys, you've got the eBays, you've got, investing, you've got other things that you could do. Why Amazon?
Well, I think for me, it was like a last resort. Like, I had so many different failed businesses. I was like, I got to give this one last shot. And if this doesn't work, then this is it. Like, I had tried Shopify. So I had my own store. I was selling kids' clothes. I managed to get that business to about 10,000 followers. And like back then, it was obviously a lot more harder than it is now to get to 10,000 followers. But it's like I was paying so many little like baby influencers and to wear these clothes. And I just wasn't getting that back in sales. And then obviously, as I said, I did rent to rent. I also did like hair extensions. I was selling hair extensions. Like, I had tried so many different businesses and none of them had ever given me the reward that I needed. Like, I was so set that in 1 year I could change my life. In 6 months I could change my life. Like, as much as people say, no, it's not possible to change your life in 6 months. People are always exaggerating these stories. I was like, I'm going to be a story where I'm going to change my life in 6 months. And I guess like, when I was doing so many things, like I was doing rent to rent, running around like a headless chicken and then making like £400 a month, I was like, what is the point? I could do overtime at work and get that. So I think like when I saw like someone really close to me, you know, going into shops, going into these places, you know, and picking up something for £1 and then selling it for 25, I was like, I ain't making those kind of margins. And I'm dealing with people, I'm dealing with houses, like I'm dealing with property, and you're trying to tell me you're just picking something up, even sometimes picking something up for 20 pence and then selling it for 12. I was like, no, like that is a lot more better for me to, in terms of investing my time and investing my money. Like, if I could put a little bit in and get a lot out, like that is what you want. Essentially, that's what anybody wants. If I can work for an hour, get paid £1 million, I'll do that. Anyone will do that. So you want like basically the least amount of effort to bring you the most amount of money, and that's essentially what Amazon did. Amazon was the least amount of time, a maximum return, and I think for me that was just kind of like a no-brainer. Like, why would I not start?
That's inspiring, to be honest. Like, the fact that I think there's a couple lessons there. You tried different things. You didn't just rest on your laurels and be like, you know what, I'm going to give up. I'm not going to do anything else. You kept on trying different things, and then you found something that worked for you, which was Amazon, which is great. What was like the first product you sold, and like how did you get started? Like, did you feel like it was like very overwhelming, you know, starting it? Because with Amazon, you got to do the listing, you got to take pictures, you got to try and source the product, other stuff as well that I know nothing about that you know about that.
Well, actually, I'm going to tell you that like your concept of selling on Amazon is actually completely wrong. So, yes.
Okay.
Taking photos, like, no, you're not completely wrong, as in, for my method, you're completely wrong. Like, 100%, there are some methods where you do have to take photos, you do have to pump loads of money into adverts, you do have to make sure you look professional, you've got to use keywords, you've got to get reviews, you've got to basically be like, you're starting, you're launching, and you're growing your own brand. But for me, I was like, I'm not investing a penny. I'm not investing thousands into anything because, honey, I failed too many times. I'm not doing that again. So my actual way of selling on Amazon is literally going to a wholesaler. Oh, that's basically what I was going to use, but I dropped. So picking up something like my phone, and my phone's in the shop for £2. And when I look how much it sells on Amazon for, it actually sells for £25. So I'm selling things that I've already branded, things that are already being sold on Amazon, things like Flash household products, things that are already being sold on Amazon. They've already done their hard work to build their brand and spent thousands of pounds to, you know, make their brand successful and well known. And I'm just saying, okay, well, I'm going to go into that wholesaler, I'm going to buy that, and I'm actually going to sell it back on Amazon for a higher price. So essentially, I don't have to worry about creating the listing. The listing's already there for me. And to answer your second question about was it hard? I think when you see the money, when I see like in the flesh, like how much I'm picking this up for 20 pence, like, and it's actually selling for £20, it's like, if anything, you have like this massive burst of energy, like, oh my God, I'm finally going to get the breakthrough that I need. I'm finally going to be free. I'm finally going to start making money. So my start was actually a lot more easier than it is right now, because I had that rush of just motivation, on the go, non-stop. That drive was just so like contagious. Like, I was on the go. I would do late nights. If you telling me that today we are traveling to Glasgow, I'm in that car, how much petrol should we do? Okay, we need this, we need that. Like, I was buzzing. Like, the beginning was ecstatic, because it was so exciting to finally feel like I'm going to get out of this disgusting situation. Finally, this is the breakthrough that I needed. And then my first product, it would take me a while to actually show you, but because I don't remember, like I actually don't know it, but I'll probably have to go through down all of my reports to have a look and see what my first product actually was. But that is a good question, so I think I'm going to figure it out. But from my judgment, it would have been like a random product, probably from Homebase, because that's where I started off. Like I started off with like little products, so potentially it could have been like a doorbell or like something along like a DIY kind of product.
Wow.
I know for sure.
Wow.
Like it would have. I think it definitely would have been like something like a doorbell, a wire, or like a garden product, like something really, really like random.
Wow. I've got so many like follow-up questions. Like my first initial question, how did you develop your strategy to be like, okay, I'm going to go to Homebase, I'm going to find a product there, and then I'm going to sell it on Amazon for more money?
So when I started selling on Amazon, it was actually a period where basically like loads of shops were closing down. Like Mothercare was gone, Homebase was gone, and for me, what better opportunity to get things at a bargain than to flipping go to the places where they have to liquidate their stock, like literally liquidate it to get it gone. They don't even care about profit anymore. They just need it gone. And as long as their debts are cleared, then they're cool. So, and I just remember that story, like these two old couples, right? And when Woolworths were closing down, they bought everything from Woolworths and they became millionaires.
Wow.
And I was like,
wow,
seize this opportunity because you're never ever going to get this opportunity again. So I was like, as soon as I saw Homebase was closing down, zoom, I was there. As soon as I saw Mothercare was closing down, zoom, I was there. And I went to absolutely every single Homebase that I could actually think of and I cleaned those shelves.
Wow. Like
obviously now it's a lot more difficult because like Amazon makes it a little bit more difficult to go to stores. Like they're not really keen on that concept of business anymore. But for me, I mean, I was able to take full advantage of that. And, you know, for me, it was like, wasn't starting with a lot of money. People always ask me, how much did you start with? It was like £20 here, £20 there, £10 here, £10 there. Like generally, I was starting with pennies. But, you know, Homebase closing down and all of these stores closing down and liquidating all their stock gave me a massive opportunity to be able to get products at a ridiculous price.
That's crazy. Wow. So you just remember that article that you read about Couple of Wars. That's insane. And I do remember Woolworths closing down. That's a great strategy.
We were young when Woolworths was closing down. I remember.
It was years ago. Typically, how long does it take you to, you know, find the product that you're looking for and then, you know, sell it onto Amazon?
Well, when I first started, it was literally like kind of like immediate. Like when I first started, I probably had less time. So I was like a school teacher and I was a train driver. So I was doing 7 days a week, but that didn't stop me. Like weekends, I was out. Like I would be working from sometimes like 6 a.m. in the morning and I finish work at 6 a.m. I'd be like, freak sleeping, I'm out. Because the adrenaline would hit me.
Wow.
So then I feel like I was probably putting in like stupid amount of hours. Like I was just not sleeping. Now I feel like I'm a lot more advanced, so I can do less time and still get results. Like because there's now systems and things that you can use, so I can use less time and still make money without having to go out. I'm now smarter. I don't need to go out. COVID taught me when all the stores closed down, you know, you need to diversify the way you shop for products because now look, you can't go out. So what are you gonna do? So now I started relying on wholesalers, building relationships with suppliers, so I could stay in my house, pick up my phone, go on WhatsApp and be like, what have you got for me? And I want the exclusives. Like, do you know what I mean? I had to like diversify. So now it's like I can do less and still get results. Whereas before it was like I was slaving. I was a slave to the game. So yeah, it's kind of like the reverse now.
That's epic. You know what? Yeah, you just streamline your process. I remember like listening to one of my favorite podcasts, Earn Your Leisure. And the guy was talking about like putting in a process at every level. And that's what you've done. Like you found one way that worked, then you diversified and found another way that worked, and then you just kept on improving your processes, which is perfect. Some people don't do that. They just continue slaving on. They're still making the good money, but they're not like, you know, being more efficient, which I think is definitely very important.
As a woman, I have to.
So why as a woman?
Because like, I mean, eventually I'm gonna get married. Eventually I'm gonna have kids. Like, I can't be having a newborn baby. Like, right, we're going to Homebase and it's 7 hours away. Let's go. Like, I can't do that. So
that's true. It's
better I systemize it now and go through that hard road of hard road of like working from home and systemizing it and being able to work from home now. When those things do happen, like years down the line, whenever they happen, like I ain't got to worry about, damn, my business is going to stop now. I'm not going to be able to make money. So it's better I do it all now and get out of the way.
That is definitely so true. So I saw like a recent TikTok, yeah, and you said on there you quit your job in 7 months and went full time on Amazon.
Yeah.
So can you explain how that happened?
Okay, so we're going to be brutally honest. It was sleepless nights. It was crying.
Okay.
It was literally. I don't think for 7 months I had a good amount of sleep. Like I literally was very much goal driven, and like I just needed to go. Like I was like a bouncing ball. But it was just I just focused. Like I said, I just went to every home base. I went to all the stores that were closing down. And after a while as well, like when Amazon started to pay me, like not pay me a lot, but pay me a bit more, I said, right, okay, cool. I'm now going to give up my Monday to Friday job because that wasn't bringing in so much. And I was fortunate enough to have a job with TFL where I was actually making around 16 to 1700 a month for only 2 days a week. So what that allowed me to do was actually free up my Monday to Thursday. And I just exhausted that. Like I exhausted those hours with just non-stop. Like I was everywhere. You phone me in the middle of the day. You phone me at 7 o'clock, I'm out. You phone me at 8 o'clock, I'm out. You phone me at 10 o'clock, I'm prepping now. I can't talk to you right now. I'm sorting out my boxes. Like if you go through my old YouTube videos, my living room was stacked to the brim. My mum's like, yeah, I can't wait for this girl to get out because I understand she's making money, but my living room is not a prep center. Like I was on the ball, and I just gradually just said to myself, like, you've just got to stick at this. Like it was more of a mind thing. Like I wasn't even myself. Like I don't even know that person that was, but it was 7 months of just straight grafting. Like I'd be on the train, and when that train parked up, out comes the phone. Like, what are we sourcing? On my break where everyone was sleeping, I'm not sleeping. I ain't got time to sleep. On my phone, you know, it was every spare second, and I literally mean like. My boyfriend actually hates it. I'm the type of person that would go in the shower and have my phone in the hand as well. That's what I would be doing. Like there was never a
dangerous
moment. Dangerous, very. But for me, the gain is better. So like there was never a moment where my phone was not in my hand and I was not sourcing a product. And I think people, they just think like, I want Shola's results. Shola was crazy. Like Shola was absolutely insane. Shola balanced 2 jobs and Amazon. Like when I want something, I want it. If I don't get it, I'm screaming. Like, I have to get it. There's no option of not getting something that I want.
The motivation and the work rate is insane. I'm just going to call it the Shola grind. That sounds absolutely insane. Are you still working your other job? Or are you Amazon completely full-time?
No, right. So COVID was like a blessing for me in terms of making me realize that I cannot work for someone else. And it wasn't even nothing to do with the money for me. It was like, my mum is sick, so she's got illnesses, and I realised that they don't care. Like, throughout that, they were like, well, everyone's still got to come into work. No one even knew what COVID was. The trains had no windows, but we have no windows. So if someone goes in and they go, and they cough all over, that's staying in there. There is no windows. Like, they didn't have cleaners that would... They wasn't implementing cleaners that would come into your cabin and clean it every time you change drivers. And for me, having someone who was considered high risk at the time in the middle of COVID, I was like, there's no amount of money that would make me risk my mum's health or risk my health or anybody else's around me's health. And I said, like, I'm really sorry, but I'm not coming back. And the anxiety and the stress of actually thinking of going back to work, like now I was in a position where now I really, really had to make my business thrive, because if not, I'm going to have to go back to work in the middle of COVID and face potentially bringing back COVID to my vulnerable mum, which was like a big no-no. So that was like a clear path. As soon as COVID hit, I think by May, I was out and done and dusted.
Wow. You know what I love about that story is the fact that you used something as sinister as COVID and you got an opportunity out of it and made something out of it. Like a lot of people, unfortunately, you know, lost their jobs, maybe lost their businesses, and maybe weren't able to adapt, whilst other people like yourself use this as an opportunity, learn new skills, change your life within 7 months.
Yeah.
And you're living a life that you weren't living a year or 2 years ago. You would have never fathomed. So this is what they say sometimes in crisis. Sometimes they're great opportunities. You just need to be willing to work for it and look out for it. And you're like a testament to that. So that's what's crazy. And that's what I think drew me to your page. I was like, rah, like this woman is doing bits. Like, this is crazy. She's really, really, really motivated. Why I wanted to get you on, because I just I'm fascinated by what you've done. It's just crazy. Bio, you say from 10k debt to 6 figures. I know that you mentioned 6 figures. Was that a target for you that you were aiming for when you transitioned into Amazon, or did it just happen by accident?
No, it was a target. Like, I really want to show you this. I hope I can find it really quickly so I don't waste too much time. But this is how important setting goals are. Like, really, really important. Like, I think they're tremendously important that we do set goals. So December, I think the 20th, 2019. Come on, Shola, let's find it. Let's be quick. Okay, where is it? Oh, come on. And knowing it, because it's Sod's Law, I am not going to find it, or I could literally just scroll down on my Instagram and get it. Because I just want to basically show, like, how important it was, like, and how important it is to set goals. Like, I set this goal a year ago, 2019, and I stuck at it. But the reason why I was able to hit my goal is because I was never able to forget that goal. So I had this goal in front of me, like, literally every single second of the day. So there it is. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick it up. Probably not as clear as it should be. But that basically was in my house, in my room, and it was like 100k in a year. And I broke down exactly how I was going to make 100k. I also literally found this book as well yesterday. I wasn't even meaning to look for it, but I found this book. And in this book, I actually wrote down how it's just insane. Like, I feel like I might start crying, but I hope I don't. So I wrote down the ways that I would make money, and in there was the course and was also Amazon as well. So the course that I was going to do, there's school events, or COVID ruined my school events, but free school events, and also going into job seekers and getting funded by the government to help people get into Amazon through that, and also selling Amazon courses. So literally these were my goals that I wrote down, and I made sure that I just know that once you put pen to paper, it has to happen. So my goal was 100k. And I was lucky enough to hit 160 in my first year, with the additional being my course that I created to teach people how to sell on Amazon as well. And yeah, so it was a goal. It wasn't something that I said just go with the flow. I think now I'm just just go with the flow, because it's hard to move. My biggest drive was my debt. And if I'm completely honest with you, now that my debt is gone, it's really hard to find a new motivating and pushing factor. My situation was every day there was, and I had to say to my brothers and my family member, always look out the window, do not open the door, window. And even that is super, super embarrassing. And now that's gone, it's what's my motivating factor? What now is going to push me to that next step or that next level?
And it's very important that you find that, right? You hit your 100k within a year, 160, you've exceeded it, nearly doubled it. So I don't know, it could be $1 million to give to whatever, I don't know, a cause that you care about, or maybe give back to other people, which I know that you've done. I know that you've, given your course out for free, which is great as well. But you're right, because otherwise you might just stop and be like, you know what?
Yeah,
and you don't want to do that. You've worked so hard. You know what I mean? You worked so hard to get here. So it's it's sort of imperative that you keep yourself going. Yeah. Keep yourself humble, and just keep on giving, because at the end of the day, you're inspiring and impacting other people. You've got that many followers for a reason, because people are I can relate to this person. I also want to learn from this person and make money. So it's absolutely insane. When you hit 6 figures, maybe you might not know the exact amount, but rough amount. How many products did you sell in your first year? Would you say roughly?
Thousands, I would say. Thousands.
Really?
Yeah, wow. That it weren't a small amount. Definitely thousands of products.
Wow.
I mean, sometimes I was getting things, and I was getting 500 units, 1,000 units. So yeah, it was definitely thousands of products, and it weren't a small a small
Wow.
amount of products that I was selling, but it wasn't particularly me, so it didn't feel like that. Like I would do like the odd time where I'd say, okay, I'm going to do a bit of shipping, but mainly we're selling it to Amazon's warehouse, and they were doing it on behalf of me, so I didn't really feel like I was selling anything.
Really?
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so they do all the legwork.
Okay.
I just find the product. I'm like, right, here you go, put this on the platform, and then
Wow.
it's Bob's your uncle. Simple as that.
Wow. So you're at that point where you're no longer like doing the packaging, you're like going to the post office or whatever, or Hermes or whatever. Hermes is bad, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know. They left
I don't know your experience with Hermes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can tell you, like, okay, forget about being a seller. Outside of my mum's house, they left 2 big trolleys of actual customer orders. Like there, the driver had literally taken it out of his car, forgotten about it, and just left it on the side of the road. There for everyone to steal. As you can imagine, it was there for approximately 20 minutes before these 2 guys came just dragging it down the road. Like, there were laptops in there, there was everything. But I believe in God, and I'm not trying to ruin my my blessing. So I left that. I'm not going to steal from anybody. Like even now, I always give. I remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was going to see my friend, and this guy was doing charity work. And I respect people that do charity work, because I just think you have so much guts to stand on. And I know you guys don't get basic. You're standing there, you've got to approach strangers and say, and everyone's like, no, busy, no, whatever. So this guy stopped me, and I stopped, and he was very tall, very, very tall, but he looked about 17, 18 max, 19 maximum. He started talking to me about they run a charity which helps people get out of gun crime and this and that. And I was just like, his manager came over, what's the target? His target was 150 for the day. And I was just like, take that 150. Like, I respect your graft. I respect what you're doing. You hit your target for the day now. Let's go. Like, I just respect so much. And I always give back. Like, I would say every single month I find someone to give money to, because I just think
That's great.
Not that I don't want it, but I just know that, like, my mum's always told me, like, you give, you receive in tenfold, and it's not always in money. You won't always get it back in money, but you get it back. And I just have to give. Like, I think in my heart it hurts. Like, it genuinely hurts if I don't give someone something. Like, just seeing someone smile sometimes is enough for me. So yeah, I always try to give out as much as I can. Like
you said, you should give, because as you say, you will receive it much more. I believe in karma. I don't know if you do, but I believe in karma. If you put good out in the world, you're going to get much more good coming back to you. If you give out bad, you're going to get bad back, you know? And I think 100%. For you, that's why you're probably, you know, that abundance, because you're so giving. And even though you've got that abundance, you're still giving a lot.
Like, I have a community of people that rely on me. So tomorrow is our student catch up. We do Zooms. I'm now like I've created 4 new sections to go into that, because Amazon is forever changing. Wow. So it's like, without even meaning to have created a second job away from Amazon selling, and now I've got like these over 300 people who rely on me, and I just want them to do so well that I'm now putting any spare moment I have, directing that into always like responding to them, creating student portals, looking at ways that I can, you know, employ people into the course or the community so that they can always have support. So and because I'm going through the stages of systemization. So systemization is like a really difficult thing to go through. Like, I had 4 members of staff, 2 weren't good, got rid of 2, now I'm back to 2, and just trying to like understand how to systemize the business. Like, I guess I'm taking like a little bit of a step back to come back 10 times better. So yeah, I'm just implementing a lot. So once I feel like, you know, I've systemized my business a lot more, like, I'm going to be unrecognizable in Amazon. You know, people are going to be like, how the hell is she doing this? Like, that 6 figures a year is going to turn to 6 figures a month on Amazon. But sometimes I always feel like it's good. Take a step back, evaluate your business, look at the ways you can improve, look at the ways you can systemize it, and then come back and just kill it. Just kill it. I think it's best always, like, not to get a burnout as well. Like, I've struggled a bit with burnouts throughout that stage as well. My mum was ill, like, suffering. I had to move her down to where I was as well. So there's a lot of challenges that I've had to deal with that have probably slowed down my growth, but everything is for a reason, because when you come back with a bang, and everyone's like, what happened?
You're investing in your business by looking at it, by improving it. And you're not only investing in your business, you're investing in people. So I think it's fair to do that. I think it's fair for the growth to slow down a little bit so that it can grow a bit more later on. I think that's definitely dope. I'm rooting for you anyway, so I'm rooting for you to do well. And I'm sure you will. You've got the drive for it. What is your plans for the next 5 years? Where do you want to take your business with Amazon to?
So with Amazon, I want to kind of dab into literally every avenue of Amazon. Like, I don't want to ever be a guru. I don't know why I hate guru. They just have a bad name. But I'd want to be like a little, maybe an expert. Like, but I don't want to just be like an Amazon seller. Like, talk to me about affiliate marketing. Talk to me about Amazon's affiliate program. Talk to me about Amazon. They did something else as well. I saw it. Amazon do like photo things. Amazon do AWS, which is like a cloud-based thing. Like, Amazon are in so many different areas. Like, I just want to study it through and through, like it's a degree. So I want to do like private label. I want to do wholesale. I want to do affiliate. I want to do like everything that Amazon do. Like, I want to be in there. I want to understand it, because Amazon is the future. He's the richest man in the world, and he's not getting poorer. So I want to be right up his batty, like right up the batty, like literally dabbling everything that he does, and just focus, like tunnel vision focus on Amazon, of course, like, but every aspect of it. Like, I want people to come to me like Shola, I've got no money. What can I do with Amazon? Well, what you can do is you can do affiliate marketing, because affiliate marketing doesn't require any money whatsoever, zero amount of investment. But that's also with Amazon. Okay, Shola, I've got £5,000. What can I do? So your options are wholesale, or you can do private label and build your own brand. Like, I just want to be able to really understand Amazon through and through, and be that. I guess I don't look like someone who knows about Amazon. I don't look like there's not a lot of people already from the UK that are doing Amazon, but to have a black woman doing Amazon, like, everyone's like, I've never found a black woman from the UK doing Amazon in the way that you do it. So I just want to stay with that. I just want to focus, tunnel vision, and focus with Amazon, but all aspects, whatever new things that they do, I kind of want to be right behind them, and taking full advantage of the opportunity that we have, having such a powerful platform like at our fingertips.
Changing the game. That's what it's about. It's about innovating. It's about perspective. And I love that you said that you want to learn every aspect of Amazon, because you're right. Like, affiliate marketing is a nice way to get paid. Like you said, you don't need to really invest anything apart from investing your own content, and you are getting paid by Amazon to do that. And as you said, they have so many products. Amazon makes billions per year. So why can't you take a bit of that slice of that pie?
And that's what it sounds like. I'm going for like 50% of that. I'm going for like 50%. I want as much as I can dabble.
Oh my god. Honestly, that is a mindset that you have to have. You have to have an abundance mindset to even think to get close. If you don't think you can do it, you're not going to be able to do it. You have to believe that you can do it, right?
100%.
So that's insane. That is, like, I'm looking forward to seeing how that progresses, and obviously you can come back onto the channel to talk to us about that and how that's going. Talking about Amazon, have you ever lost any money doing Amazon? And if you did, what was the most that you've lost?
So I think I would say I haven't lost anything yet. And the reason why I haven't lost anything yet is you invest in stocks, so you'd understand this concept of not losing anything.
Yeah.
So I've had products that haven't sold that are currently in my warehouse, but until I sell it for a loss, it's not a loss. So, so I would say I've had products that, like, I had a product, it was like a palette of products that were electricals, and this is why I always discourage people from getting electricals. So I had products that were electricals, they kept getting faults, and Amazon's, Jeff is like 100%, I'm calling him Jeff like he's my brethren, but like, he is literally all for customers. He's all for customers. So when they started getting loads of returns, he was like, well, clearly this product isn't good. I don't want you to sell this on the platform anymore. So because of that, they got returned to me. They're currently sitting in my warehouse at the moment. And that's one of the things that I'm literally on my to-do list to do, is to get that pushed into auction and sold either at break-even price or for a little bit more. So until I inset, and that's probably around £2,500 worth of stock in cost price. So until that's actually sold, I wouldn't say that it's lost money. But if I sell it at a loss, potentially that could be a loss of £2,500.
It's not that much compared to how much you've made. I mean, compared to six figures, you've kept your losses minimal. How have you done that? How have you kept your losses to a minimal like that, to make sure, okay, you're not losing 10 grand, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand? Because some people might fall into that trap of, buying the wrong items, or items that are like, people no longer want or are getting returned. How have you managed that?
So I think with me, like, one thing that's really, really important is contingency. And I learned that contingency plans are really, really important from failing so many times and losing money in other business ventures that I said, like, but hold up a minute, this cannot be the way of business. And I started looking at business plans, like, what are in their plans and what do they care about? If I wanted to go to the bank and ask them for money, what do they care about? Everything's always about how will you get out? I'm thinking, why are these people always asking about weaknesses and asking about what I'm going to do if? No, give me the money and just let me sort it out. But when I noticed that was always there, it showed me that contingency plan is really important. Exit strategy is super, super important. So for everything that I bought, I thought of contingency plan. And that's why, like, even with those products that I sold, people would say that £2,000 and those lights is now a loss. For me, it's not. My contingency plan is to put those products straight into auction and get my money back. So I think the reason how I've been able to minimize my losses is that I always have a plan for things that go wrong. I always planned what I want to do to make sure that if that does happen, then yeah, this is what I'm gonna do to stop that loss from occurring. Also, I have a system and I have a way that I source my products that I should not be losing money. And if I do lose money, I'm being impatient, right? I'm being impatient. And if it does come to the stage where that does happen, there's other steps that I can do. So maybe that listing might get super competitive. So I might take a step back and I might wait. You know, you just wait. What's the rush? Like, you know, it's the same thing with stocks, you know. People sold when Bitcoin dropped. Hello, honey, it's on sale. Like, be patient. It's going to come back up. And that's the same thing with Amazon. Yep. You know, there might be 1,000 people on the listing. Oh, hey, good for you. I'm going to wait till you 1,000 sell out, and then I'm going to make my money. So it's the concept of business is the same no matter where you are. Like, I minimize my losses because I'm really, really patient now. I'm not rushing. I'm not in a fluster. I don't make rush decisions. And if I do make a rush decision, I have a plan where I can get myself out of that. I have systems that I check to make sure that before I buy this product, it's going to be good. And if I'm not sure, I'm not going to invest tens of thousands. That's the difference. If I'm not sure if it's going to make me money, I'm not about to. Even now, I could put thousands in there. I wouldn't. Until I'm certain that it's going to make me money, I'm putting the bare minimum that I can.
Wow.
And that's I guess, how I've minimized it.
Wow, that's epic. So being sure, being patient, and having a contingency plan. And that's really important. Contingency plan is always important. You're right. Like, if you fail, or if this doesn't sell, what are you gonna do? And you know what you're gonna do, because if it happens, you're like, okay, that's cool. I'll wait even longer, or I'll get rid of them in auction. And I feel like that's where a lot of people, like, they stumble, they get panicky. Oh, it's not worked out, I'm gonna give up, because they haven't thought of, actually, if this fails, because things do fail. You just need to find a solution. There's always a solution. It's
easier to work backwards, and this is what people don't understand. Like, they think that, oh, I'll just deal with it when it comes. But now you won't be able to, because you're so upset about that failure that your whole concept and your decision making is backwards. Like, think of it first. Like, you don't think of it last, you think of it first. Like, what will you do if? Like, do you know what I mean? These people are investing thousands and thousands of pounds into products, like creating their own brands on Amazon. You think it's easy because you see someone say that it's easy. It's not easy. Creating a brand is hard. And that's why I always encourage people to do a ladder, resell, and then go into something like that, because that is hard. So if you start from that way round, like if you start with reselling, you understand Amazon, you understand how it works, then you go to private label. If you start with private label, creating your own brand, and you've invested £10,000 into this without having a full understanding of how Amazon even works, you put £10,000 into something, no one knows your brand, no one cares about your brand, selling that product even at auction is going to be stupidly difficult, because we don't even know your company, mate. So it's always about always about thinking backwards. Like, I know that with this product, these are well-established brands that, you know, have been around for years. Like, someone's gonna know the company. I knew it, that's why I bought it. And someone's gonna know the company. They're gonna buy it from the auction if I do it at a good enough price. And the price I bought it was like £3. It sells for 20. So even if I did it for 5, they're still gonna make a good amount of money, and I'm gonna make a profit on top. So it's just starting backwards. Starting backwards is hard, because you have to try to really, really break your brain. Like, what would I actually do if this does go wrong? That's hard. That's hard to think about. You don't want to think about that. But do the nitty gritty and the hard stuff first, so that when it comes in, your brain just says, oh, plan B. In initiation phase. Now, in you go, plan B, and you're ready to go.
Dropping a lot of gems. I'm sure the audience are gonna love everything that you've dropped so far, and it's true. I love the whole concept of working backwards because, like you said, some people just think about the surface; they don't think about what goes wrong, which is insane, to be honest. Do you deal with many customers, and what is it like dealing with customers if you do?
Oh no, I don't. You see,
You don't, okay? You don't want to deal with them.
So the reason why I got out of the rent-to-rent game, right, is
Yeah.
I am a people person when I want to be. So, like, I can have
Yeah.
phases where I will completely isolate. I will not answer my phone. I just want to watch TV and I just want to watch my crime documentaries. You know, some will say that's not healthy. For me, that's healthy. I need my alone time. You know, I've never been someone that can speak to someone every single day. Like, I need my break as well. So, dealing with, and when you're dealing with customers, especially on Amazon, you know, they're not happy. You know, so they're moany, they want this, they want that, I didn't receive the product, your courier did this, right, so forget it, let's just not, I don't like the nitty gritty, the moaning, the whatever, I hate moany people, a bit ironic because I'm moany, but I don't like moany people, so I had to get out of that situation straight away. Good, lo and behold, Amazon do, you know, FBA, which means that they have their own in-house customer service who take care of all of that for you. Which does mean that it's not their money, they don't care. If the customer complains, it's immediate refund, so you do get refunds. But, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, to not have a headache, it's worth it, I guess. Even if they're not dealing with it, Amazon's policy anyway, you should just give them a refund. You don't want a bad review on your account at all.
So that is what Amazon FBA is. It's about dealing with obviously I know it's like other stuff, but that's dealing with like the customers. Yeah, I can imagine like the whole customer stuff. It is long sometimes. I worked in retail in the past, and
there we go.
Some days it was just like you're just not up to it, and you just got people complaining. And I worked in both Primark. Yeah, they're never happy. Primark. I've worked in Shoe. I just didn't really feel it. I mean, sometimes it was all right. Sometimes you get some nice people. Sometimes you get some complete nasty people, and there's nothing you can really do about it. They just come in the store moody, angry, and take it out on you. You're like, come on now.
I tried my hardest not to be that customer. Like, when I go into a shop, I'm like, have a nice day. Hope you're good. How are you? I know how it feels to be on. I worked in private for approximately 2 weeks. Yeah. When it was time
2 weeks, that's what you lasted.
Right, because I didn't understand that the store was closed, but because the shop wasn't tidy, and I finished work at 9. But the store's not tidy, so you're not letting me leave until the store is tidy. Excuse me, I finished work at 9. If the work is not done, that's nothing to do with me, my friend. My clock off time is 9. And Primark, that policy does not work. No one has an end time. The end time is when the shop floor is tidy. That don't work with me. No. That don't work with me. So I worked there for approximately 2 weeks. I didn't even put Primark on my CV because it wasn't even worthy of it. I just woke up one day and said, I don't like your policies. I'm out. See you later. Out we go.
Primark is like that, and it's such a customers take the P because they know it's cheap clothing, right? So they're like, oh, we're just gonna throw the clothes everywhere, and then you've got the retail associates having to clean up after them. It's so annoying. Sometimes you clean up, they come after and just mess it up. You be serious? I just did all this folding. Yeah, I didn't have a great time there as well. I left without like giving much of a reason. One day I was like, I'm not going back.
I don't think anyone does notice period in
coming
Primark.
back? I was like, I was just like, I'm not doing that. So what has been like your biggest challenge of being successful on Amazon and like doing it full time? What would you say some of your biggest challenges?
I would say for me it's juggling. I'm someone that cares too much. Like, I'm so invested in everything. I think if I was not selling a course or was not selling a community or teaching other people how to sell on Amazon, I probably wouldn't have as much challenges as I have now. But as you said, like when you're responsible for people, like I'm so invested. Like I give my students bonus if they whoever makes the most money gets £250 to spend back on stock, because I just really want to incentivize and change their lives the way that my life was able to be changed. And I guess because of that, I spend so much time now trying to perfect them and trying to get them to where I want them to be, or trying to get them to, 7 figures, 6 figures, 8 figures a month, that I now have, I wouldn't say I've abandoned it, but it's maybe less time to put into Amazon, actually selling products myself as well. I obviously still do it, But yeah, I suppose juggling that is because I'm caring. I'm a people person. When people are invested and they're happy. When they're happy, I love them. So I just want to see them do well. And because I want to see them do well, I invest so much time in like trying to make sure that they're okay. Which is time consuming, let me not lie. You know, I'm always looking for ways to improve every single month. I don't sleep unless I see sales. I want to see how much you guys are making, like show me. I obviously do my Zooms once a month with them as well, and I do like quite a bit of preparation if I feel like I've got a lot of preparation to do for that as well. So I guess that my challenges is juggling and systemizing. So I don't trust anyone with my business. I don't trust anyone apart from my mum, and my mum is not the most healthiest of people. So it's stepping back, and I've read and I've listened to so many podcasts, and I know that is the hardest bit. Like Gary Vee once said to someone, he said, I literally listened to it today. He was talking about someone saying, now I'm employing people into my business and none of them are working hard enough. He's like, yeah, you're expecting them to work hard and it's not even their business. You are the problem. And I guess that's me. I've now got a lovely personal assistant who literally, Joanna, she literally right now is full speed, just controlling a lot of like my time and putting things into place where I'm now having to work less. But systemizing is the hardest bit, but once you get it right, it's perfect. So that's my biggest challenge. My biggest challenge is doing more for less, and working harder and less smart. I enjoy going on holiday. I just come back from Antigua. It was so nice. And I come back here and there's no sun and I'm depressed. I need to go back on holiday. So systemizing is really, really important, but it's also the hardest thing that anyone can do is to literally step back from their business. That's my biggest challenge, I guess.
Yeah, I understand that as well, you know, because you started your own thing and you've worked so hard to build it, you know, every part of it, even though it's tiresome sometimes. You've made it what it is, right? You've introduced that quality at every level. So I understand why it's hard to hand it off to somebody and be like, make sure that you do it as good as me.
And give your suppliers.
I completely understand it.
That's the hardest bit. My suppliers. Oh, hell to the no. That's my sacred thing. And I have a lot of people that, you know, approach me on Instagram like, I'll work with you for free. Yeah, you bet you will, because you want suppliers. Like, do you know what I mean? So that's the hard bit. Like, I eventually one day have to be like, here you go. And
you're
you know
gonna have to hand it off.
And
trust people.
Systemizing is the biggest challenge for me. I'm petrified of the day I have to say to someone, here's my golden book, like, do I have to give it to you? But I'm gonna try to keep this a family business as much as I can. You know, I've got a little cousin that's looking for a job. She's turning 18 soon, and I just want to try and keep in-house as much as I can. Not saying that family can't do you day, but my family is very close knit, and I can 100% say that, you know, my immediate family, I can genuinely really, really trust them. So yeah, it's about just the challenge is teaching my little cousin and bringing people in that, like my mom, not really my mom so much, is one off, but you know, people in house that can genuinely just create this legacy and keep it going when I'm ready to be like, all right, I'm sleeping now. I'm going on holiday for 7 months. Don't nobody call me for 7 months.
I completely get that, and I think keeping it as a family business is not such a bad idea, to be honest. I think that definitely makes sense, because when you are bringing in somebody new, you have to make sure that they're required, like they've got the required work rate to keep up with what you've done. And sometimes you may not be sure, and sometimes it could be a bit too late in certain situations. So I definitely completely agree. Like, I've got the same kind of issue. Like, recently outsourced my thumbnail, found someone good, so I was like, okay, that's good, done that part. But like other parts, I'm not like so sure. Like posts on Instagram, I don't know if I could trust somebody to do that. I'm like, are they gonna do it to the level that I need it to be? And
don't ever give them access to your Instagram.
It's a No. Oh no. Oh wow. No. That would be crazy. They'll change it to something new and then take over your account, right? Yeah.
And then you would have grown to like 50,000 followers. You wake up one day and your DMs have been leaked, and you're like, hell. So there's loads of things that you can do. I think definitely try to systemize though. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, that is. I'm starting to like, you know, offhand some things here and there, and I'm trying to like lighten the burden on me as well, next that I need to find somebody who can do video editing, and then I'll be nice. Once I found someone doing it, that's gonna be a weight off my shoulders.
I literally have someone on my team now who can do that. So I have my personal assistant who does like my day-to-day stuff, responding to emails, making sure the students are okay, like paying students when they won their little cash prize. And I have a video editor, which, don't get me wrong though,
That's epic.
she's still not allowed to do my Amazon course videos. So when I do that, I'm like, no, because you're gonna have it in the flesh. You can sell it on. So I haven't trusted her that much yet. But she does do a lot of my video editing, like some of the stuff for like TikTok and Reels and stuff like that. But yeah, it is video editing for me is very tedious. I hate it. The joy out of it is gone. But yeah, finding the right person is really tricky. That's gonna, like, I don't want to have to keep going back and telling you do this, do that. I don't even want to have to watch it over. I just want to know that you've perfected it and never have to watch it, and I just upload it straight away. Like, that's how I get to. But what I do now is like, once something's been done, I then give it to my personal assistant, who then checks for mistakes. So I don't even look at it no more now. I just trust her that she's watched it, whatever, and I go.
Wow.
Even watching things back is just annoying. Like, I've just edited this whole thing and got to watch it back.
It is, yeah.
So I'm trying. I've read 4-hour week, and I've just felt like, if I don't want to live in this country, I don't have to. Like, I could live in different countries every single month once I've systemized this. So just do it. It's hard, but do it.
Wow. So the gem there is systemizing everything. So we've come to the segment where we want to help beginners get started on Amazon. Obviously, you've mentioned your course and the support that you give your students. But if I was a beginner, how would I get started on Amazon, and what would I need to do to sell my first product?
So if you was going to get started, you need to build up a bit of capital. So when I started selling on Amazon, I was fortunate enough to have Homebase and Mothercare and all these places where you could get things for like 10 pence, 20 pence, like, and then not even lying, and literally flip that to things that will sell for £7 and £8. So the most important thing is getting educated, because Amazon has changed so much, like, because they're putting so much policies in. So a new policy that came in a couple of months ago is that they can, at whatever stage, ask you to evidence anything that you sell. They can also ask you at any stage, they can also ask you at any stage that any toy that you sell has to come with a declaration of conformity, which is a piece of paper from the manufacturer which says that this one is allowed and certified to be sold in the UK and the EU.
Wow.
So these are things that are...
That's insane.
Yeah, it's not easy anymore. It's not as easy as 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago, but a year and a half ago, when I was doing, where it's just like, I go to the shop, I pick this up, I want to sell this, list it, sell it. It's not like that. Their policies are changing so much more. Now, obviously, YouTube is quite outdated, but you can get a lot of content from YouTube. I don't disagree with YouTube. Obviously, I do my course as well. I think Amazon now is about investing in yourself. Like, it's not a business where you can now just get up and do it. You really need to educate yourself in what you're doing. And I'm not just saying that because I sell a course, but I have people in my DMs every single day saying, Shola, my account's been blocked, please help me. Like, because they are so strict now. It's the way that you have to sell on Amazon, the amount of paperwork and things that they're putting in place that you need isn't going to be as easy as people think it will be. So education right now is super important, because once your account is gone on Amazon, it's gone. In a few instances,
really, they don't forgive it.
But in a few instances, like, I was blocked for a month. You know, they weren't going to give me.
Wow, that's a lot of income.
They weren't. There was £14,000 trapped in there when they blocked me. And they weren't going to give it back. You know, every day, no word of a lie, every single day for 1 month, I tried. I'd cry on the phone and say I've got rent to pay. Like, they are ruthless. So if you ever get in that situation where you're blocked, don't think it's just going to be, I send an email and I get my account unblocked the next day. Oh, hell, so no, you will not. Like, so education is vital right now. Education is so important in making sure that you are aware of what you're getting yourself into when you are jumping into something. It's because Amazon, because it is the future, and once you're gone, you're gone. You know, you don't want to be left out of something that is going to be, you know, £1 trillion or gazillion or whatever it is pound company, and you're never going to be able to get a piece of that pie because of one silly investment that you didn't want to make. It doesn't have to be my course, but, you know, invest in somebody's course. You know, I'm an advocate for investing in courses because I don't want to make a mistake. You know, I learned from all of their mistakes. Why would I not want that? why would I not want a head start? How about I learn from her and I make 300,000 in a month? Because if she did 100,000 with mistakes, what the hell would I do without mistakes?
And I think that's a misconception a lot of people, you know, don't understand. Like, a lot of information is free through experience, or it's out there, but it's scattered in this unstructured way. And experience costs money. It costs a lot of money. This is what people don't realize. When you go and do stuff by yourself, whether that's stock, Amazon, or anything else, you're going to lose money because you're a beginner, right? You don't know what you're doing, so you're going to lose money. You're going to have that mentality, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like you said, for you to get somewhere quicker, learn from others. That's why you buy books. That's why you buy courses. That's why you go to school and everything else, because you're trying to educate yourself. But people forget that. They're like, oh no, I'm not going to buy a course. Oh no, it's too expensive. You're investing in yourself at the end of the day when you're doing this, and you are fast tracking yourself.
I had someone comment on my TikTok like 3-4 days ago, and they were like, I don't understand why it's always the traders and the Amazon people that sell courses. And I was like, they're the only people that sell courses. I was like, you do understand that universities sell courses? Like, why are we missing the bigger picture? You know, in the grand scheme of things, someone charging you £660 to learn how to sell on Amazon and make that, make at the minimum of 1,500 in your first month, as opposed to someone taking £46,000 off of you for university and not even guaranteeing you any amount of money. Like, that concept really winds me up. Like, you want to come at me? Go to the government. You're so angry about investing in courses. There's someone ripping you off for $9,000 a year, and guaranteed the person in front of you that's teaching you about business has never ran a business in their life. They just have a PhD in it. So you're not even paying for experience. You're paying for book. Do you know what I mean? That's even worse. You're not even paying for mistakes. You're just paying for a book, a really expensive, thick book. That's what you're paying for when you go to university.
Exactly.
Because if you ask them, have you run a business before? No, but I've got a master's and a PhD. So you haven't run a business before. What life experience can you tell me about business? What's the, you know, an interview like this for a lecturer or someone who does business, they probably wouldn't even be able to answer the majority of the question. What's the biggest challenge? Or when I was studying for my master's for business, they don't have an actual experience.
Yeah, they don't have the experience. Yeah.
So it's actually cheaper on so many different ways to actually invest in a course away from university.
And the return on investment that you're going to get from a course like yours is massive. This is lifelong learning. Like you said, you also support your students going forward. So I feel like it's always imperative to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself in some capacity. You cannot expect to get to where you want to without spending something. I'm not saying spend your last savings, but if you want something, work towards saving a bit and then invest into something.
Yeah.
So moving on to that point, how much would you say you would need to have roughly to get started on Amazon?
So before, I would say about 150. I would now say that I would. Well, I've shown that it's possible. I mean, I just went to wholesalers today. Like, but the reason why I was a little bit late is like I need to show people you can start at £20. So I think what I wanted to kind of do, like, there is a few bit of software that you have to purchase anyway. Like, it's a given. But I would comfortably say like £200 is enough. It's not going to be easy with £200. You know, the more you have, the easier it gets. But £200 is enough. Don't expect to get like booming products and ridiculous, but you will be able to get products like the one I did. So, you know, product with 40% return investment. You spend £20, you make about £8 profit or something like that, whatever it is. And then you use that money on top then to reinvest it. But it's going to be a slower game when you are starting with a small amount.
That makes sense. So you got into Amazon full time in 7 months during, you know, the lockdown. Do you think that's still possible for a beginner starting from today? Do you think that they can still achieve what you achieved in 7 months if they really, really worked hard at it?
Absolutely. I don't see why anyone can't. Like, one of my students, you know, made £9,000 a week.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's possible. It's what you put. You get what you put in, basically. Like, if you're willing to work hard, you can get it. I'm no different to anyone. Like, obviously COVID had a massive impact because everyone was at home and they were spending a lot more, but you know, people are still making 10 grand, 20 grand right now, and there is no COVID. So 100% you could.
That's inspiration for anybody listening. Shola said it. You can still become a full-time Amazon seller in 7 months. If you are willing to work hard at it, you're highly motivated, and obviously you have the funds and you invest in yourself, either through getting her course or learning through somebody else. Very, very important. What would you say are the 3 things that you need to become successful at Amazon?
Patience, motivation. Be motivated. Sorry. Okay. You need education, and I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, education, but constant.
You can give a 4th if you want to give a 4th.
So consistency, because Amazon is forever changing. So it's not something that you do now and you do half-heartedly. You really got to make sure that you stay up to date with things that are changing. It's not something that you start and then you close your eyes and you just keep going with that concept. You really have to make sure that, you know, you're also aware of like things that are changing as well. So yeah, I would say being consistent with your journey and also with policies. Patience, motivated, and I don't remember what the other one I said was now, but those are the 3 I can remember.
Education.
Right, education, that's it.
Yeah. Education. And if you had, or if I had, because I'm an Amazon beginner, definitely. If I had £100, what would you tell me to do with it?
So with £100, I would tell you to look for small margin products, like the one that I put on my Instagram, so like a Brillo, where you can basically use a small amount of money to then make a lot. With £100, you definitely can get good deals, but you're going to need to know where to source, how to source, and how to get those good deals and build relationships with suppliers. Obviously, with suppliers, the more you spend, the more they love you, but you can definitely start to put your foot in the door with some suppliers and build relationships. But start small and scale up. Start small, scale up.
Yeah, you should use that as a slogan. Start small, scale up. People love that. All right. Thank you so much, Shola. What's next for you?
Systemization. I hate it. I'm still in the process. It's taking me like literally 4 months, and I feel like I still haven't gotten anywhere, but I have got somewhere. You know, my whole, students process in signing up for their Discord community is completely systemized. I have a lovely software called Zapier, and Zapier automates emails to them, and then I have my assistant pick up those emails and make sure they're okay. So I feel like I haven't made any progress, but I've made massive progress because I don't have to deal with emails. And sometimes, I might have like 10 students enroll in one day, 12 students enroll in one day, and having to go back and forth with emails would be hectic. So I've got someone and things in place where they are always catered for. So yeah, systemization is my next big step. Actually looking to do other different avenues of money, so like looking into property as well. So there's a few things, but systemization is like my main priority, if I'm honest with you.
The most important.
100% the most important.
That's epic. So tell the people where they can find you on your socials.
Okay, so you can find me on my Instagram. My Instagram is Shola Emily. My Twitter is Miss Amazon UK. My TikTok is Miss Amazon UK. And my YouTube is Shola Emily. I should just all make it one handle. I'm probably going to make it all one handle. Maybe it's all under Shola Emily. Because it's confusing. So I might just be called Shola Emily on everything. But yeah, those are my handles. Shola Emily on YouTube, Shola Emily on Instagram, Miss Amazon UK on Twitter, and on TikTok. And I am currently posting every day, so you get to see my annoying face every second of the day.
Thank you so much. It's been great in having you. You dropped so many gems. I feel like I've learned so much about Amazon, and I feel like I knew a bit, but I feel like I've learned so much from you. Like what you've done, your journey has been so inspiring. If you've got any last messages that you want to tell the listeners, please feel free to.
Thank you to you also, because some of your posts that you've done in stock about not rushing and not jumping into stocks without being educated as well. From you saying that, I joined a Discord, and from that Discord I was made from the education I learned from there, I made a good amount of money on stocks as well, on penny stocks.
Nice.
Took my money in, took it right back and get out again, because obviously penny stocks, you don't leave it in there too long. And yeah, now the market's down a little bit, but like in the Discord they taught me that, when it's down, it's on sale, you buy some more and you wait for it to come back up. So like your posts are also really, really good and inspiring me, and I think you was a person that actually got me into stocks in the first place. So yeah, thank you for inspiring me.
Thank you. That's what we do. We have to all inspire each other. The next generation, do you know what I mean? That's awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we will have you, and you'll get to listen to us next week. See ya.